Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at APE. Before we jump to the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So there's a few ways that we're looking at this, and we need to just talk about them before we start talking about what this move to the upside could be. So I'm just going to cycle through them quickly. We were talking about, so that's all the upside. Okay. So we're talking about the possibility that potentially we could look at this being a triangle within here and then having a smaller fifth wave to the downside. If we were looking at this potentially as a completed wave 5 to the downside here, this would be a 1, 2, 3 into here, A, B, C, D, E, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or a 5-wave structure. So for the most part, this is a viable count, and we could argue that potentially this is completed, and we would be looking for that potential to actually see a 3-wave structure back up into the zone of the 1689 to this 859 zone. So, for the most part, we can argue that this is still a possibility. There are other alternatives, though, of how we can count this. We can potentially count this into this high point, where this becomes an A wave down, and then we have a few of other options. So we're going to go just cycle through them quickly here. The other thing that we were talking about previously was the potential of seeing something like this as a triangle in this B wave, and the potential to actually break down for that C wave. So this is still also a viable count at the moment. We were also talking about the fact that we could look at this as a W wave here, then followed by a potential of an X wave as a flat. This is also still viable for the time being. If we do get a move up into this 1189 to this 841 zone, potentially we could still see this Y wave continuation to the downside and set a new low here. So the thing within this is, it depends which one of these is actually playing out, because unfortunately there's a lot of possibilities at the moment, and we'll have to see how these react. For instance, this B wave could allow for a much more deep retracement here if it is a triangle in a B wave location. Potentially 1-to-1 would be this 0.87, but they wouldn't have to go to 1-to-1. Some of these other areas here would be interesting. This would be the 618. This would be 605, 702, 786, and then this would be the lower range here of that 1-to-1. So this is still a possible outcome that we could set a new low here, even though it doesn't need to technically come to this 1-to-1 of this move. So that's one thing that we need to just be aware of. So within the we could also argue it's completed into there, but yeah, there's a lot of different ways of looking at this. So the key thing within the current structure here is if we are looking for a sustained push to the upside, we would have to look at this as a potential 1-2, 1-2, or potentially an A looking for a B and then looking for that C to the upside. So we're going to discuss these internal counts here and what would happen, and so what we're looking for is for as invalidation, and what would likely mean more or new lows to come in the future. So I'm going to go and look at this. This was the one way we were talking about it in the previous video. Looking for this as a 1, 2, 3, and then we're looking for a wave 4, and then looking for that potential fifth wave to the upside. So for the most part, this is still valid. We haven't actually come down past this wave 1 high. And we could actually argue that we could still see a 5-wave move to the upside from this point. We've come down to that 50%, which we have held here, and we've sort of tested this zone 3 times already. Be interesting to see whether this holds or whether we actually start to break down deeper. Obviously, if we do move down past this 4843, that would invalidate this potential of a 5-wave structure like this, unless it was a expanding diagonal. So the only time this wave 4 can cross this wave 1 is if we're getting a diagonal pattern. And it still has to have the correct structure. So the thing within this it would mean that this fifth wave actually has to be longer than this wave 3. So that would mean that this fifth wave would actually have to come up into the region of, get this on there, down with this low. Bear with me 1 second. So that would mean that we'd actually have to move up higher than 89 or 8.975 with this wave 5 if this was a expanding diagonal in this location. So what we'd be looking for effectively within here is whether we can actually make this rally to the upside. If, however, we don't cross this red line, technically speaking, it'd only need to move up towards a zone of this 7.94 to this 696. That would be a typical fifth wave area. So, this is something that we could see play out if we do look to push to the upside. We could still look for a 5-wave structure here, looking into this zone for completion. Although the alternative way of looking at this, if we wanted to try and look at it in a bullish manner, would be the potential that we've got already a 1, 2 here. And then instead of counting this as a 3, we could count this again as a 1, looking for that wave 2 to the downside. So what we would look for confirmation of this, basically we'd have to hold this low point of this red line here, which would be this 325.4, and then we'd be looking for this zone here for support, this 457 to this 376. And what we'd be looking for is that potentially this is all an A wave into here. This becomes a B wave up into this high. Let me just actually drop it right on there. So 1 to 1 would actually bring us down here to this 4437 zone. That could be an interesting area, as well as this 618 lower down here could be a retest of some of these low points. Yeah, I mean this 421 to this 412 zone could be an interesting area for support to come in if we are looking at this as an additional 1 and a 2. So how does this move differ? So what we'd be looking for is potential to come back down here to this 1 to 1, or potentially if it extends down further, this 1236 actually lines up quite nicely with the 4.127 area. So that could be an area that we look to push into. So with we're looking for this, what we then want to see is big 5-wave structure playing out to the upside here. We'd want to see this obviously as 1, 2, 1, 2. And then what we'd probably get within this structure is we get another 5-wave move like this, get a retracement, find support, look to push up for that third, fourth, and that fifth. So that fifth wave should look to target towards this zone here of this 1369 1369 area. However, if we fail to do so, it could just be the fact that this is a B, and a C wave, and then we could actually look to break down. So it's only when we get this additional fourth and fifth here to the upside that we would get confirmation. So if we did move up to that 1369, what you'd be looking for is support to come in at this zone of this 1056 to the 789 zone, and then we'd be looking for that continuation up to that fifth wave location of that 1778 to that 1514 zone. So this is something that can play out. We don't have confirmation of it though yet. And we need to be cautious on this retracement here. This could just be the A wave, we get a B wave up, and then we actually continue further down. And like I said, at the moment, we're looking for that potential for that fifth wave, which is still valid. That would be this option. However, if we start to lose this zone, potentially what we would need to be looking out for would be that instead of looking at that move like that, what we could actually have is rather that we could have this as an A wave into this high, and then we could actually look for support lower down here. And instead of looking at this as an impulse, we could then actually just look at this move as an A wave, potentially look for a B wave and a C wave to the upside. That would be the corrective way of looking at it. But like I said, we've got to be careful within the structure because we do also have that potential for a triangle within here where we are talking about something like this playing out. So, if we're looking at this as a triangle, this 3-wave move, this B wave trend line is sort of, we can move this around. We don't have that D wave confirmed yet. So until we actually do, I'm actually just going to hide this for now. Until we actually get this D wave confirmed, this could actually even be as high as it is here, and we've reached that 1 to 1, and that could form that D wave. And then after that point, we get a 3-wave move to the upside here. And then that could complete this E wave, and then we could actually look to break down. So we need to be a bit cautious within this zone because this could actually indicate quite a big rejection of these levels. If we do move back to the upside, invalidation of this as a triangle would come by crossing the 641. So if we do move back to the upside, we wouldn't want to cross this C wave high. And as well as that, if we drop to the downside and we're looking for this D wave to play out, we wouldn't want to cross this B wave low. So I'm being a bit cautious with saying that this is actually completed into here. Just because of the fact that, if we're looking at this, the C wave was quite simple. So it could be that this D wave could get a bit more complex, where this becomes an ABC. Like I said, we get a three-wave move up, we get another ABC down as a double zigzag or something like this. And then actually that would be our D wave completed, and that could be potentially lower down here. As long as it doesn't cross this B wave at, what was that number that I said? At 261, it's still valid that we could actually see something like this play out. So we need to just be a bit cautious within this. Obviously, if we do take the C wave high here, then we can look for that potential that either this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as long as we don't drop below this point. Alternatively, if we do drop below this high here, which is this 4483, if we drop below this, then that fifth wave would have to be longer than this third wave for it to be a diagonal. Otherwise, we'd potentially just have this as an A, B, C as a zigzag, and then have that as a bigger A, B, and a C wave to the upside. So, we need to give it a bit of space and see how it plays out. But for the moment, if we are looking for that bullish aspect to play out here. Basically, we can't drop below that 448.3 if we're looking for this simple impulse. If we do, what I would want to see then is how we react lower down here at that 1-to-1, which would be that 444. If we do find support there, then we'd have to see whether we get a 5-wave move to the upside, which is longer than this wave. If we do, then we can count it as a diagonal. If not, it could be potentially, if we're going to be bullish, this option playing out, where we actually found this support here for this wave 2, and we're starting to move up for this wave 3. Though, like I said previously, confirmation would only come by a much bigger move up to this zone of this 13698 area. So we need to be cautious here, because if we're looking at that potential of a triangle, once this completes down, that could actually be the D wave. We form a 3-wave move to the upside, and then that completes that move. And then we could actually start to see some sell off to the downside. So keep an eye on that zone. Okay, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, you will find affiliate links for BYBIT and Prime XBT down there. Check them out. Really great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do use the affiliate link, it does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.